My name is Matthew Guidry. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Chapter 11, Ideas of Persuasion. Imagine you are in a heated conversation with another person, eagerly trying to get them to convince that an idea, point is correct and theirs is wrong. How would you do that? Persuasion is rather a tricky concept to break down because in order for one person to be right and about a certain topic, another person must be wrong. Persuasion deals with the ability to influence one person's and other ideas, thoughts, or actions after a sustained effort. There are many effective ways that one can influence their audience members' beliefs, attitudes, and values. There are 9 total persuasive strategies that can be used in order to convince the audience. There are ethos, pathos, logos, positive motivation, negative motivation, cognitive nonsense, appeal to safety needs, appeal to social needs, and appeal to self-esteem needs. In this video, I'll be talking about 3 most commonly used strategies: ethos, logos, and pathos. Ethos refers to the credibility of a speaker. When speaking to an audience, it is more likely that the listeners will respect you when your facts credited by a credible source. Credible sources involve research, lectures, peer reviews, scientific articles, books, and etc. Competent speakers who know that content it is fullest will deliver their content with confidence and assurance. Trustworthiness refers to how an author comes across with his information. An author who considers the thoughts of his audience, presents information in a balanced way, does not try to forcefully steer the audience in any other particular direction, cites credible sources, and follows proper speaking etiquette. Logos refers to how logical an argument is. If a person believes that an argument isn't logical, they will be disinterested in even getting their point across in the first place. For an example, an account called Bleacher Report, which is an active crowd across social media outlets, releases fake news or news which has been exaggerated. Once an audience finds out that a real story and observes the report was actually false, all credibility and logic of the argument is lost. A well-spoken argument relies on both sides while correctly explaining why the counter-argument is wrong. More importantly, news sources have been accustomed to only relying on one side of the story without explaining the other. Another example of logos in my personal life is when my football team and I are watching film and my coach tries to point out something that I did wrong, even though personally I know I did wrong and makes no sense. For example, let's just say we're running a run play. I'm supposed to block a safety, but he says I'm supposed to block a linebacker. It makes no sense because why would I go block a safety when he's so far back and the linebacker is closer to inside the box? Pathos. Lastly, pathos refers to emotional appeal. There must be an appropriate balance between too much emotion given to an audience and too little. Without enough emotion, the audience will feel disengaged and bored. With too much emotion, the audience will feel overwhelmed and displeased. Starting off with an idea that gets the audience emotionally engaged is a great way to persuade someone's thoughts. For example, in order to persuade an audience in regards to the gun control, a person can mention Stoneman Douglas High School, Florida shooting. It is likely that most people felt empathy toward the most recent massive school shooting in Florida. What if you were told your own daughter was in the gunway and was fatally shot? The audience, which before would have little to no effect in the emotions of an act, now immediately feels sympathy and sorrow. Another example of pathos is when people use too much emotion. In football, when people use too much emotion to motivate people, it comes across wrong. In my personal life, in my high school football career, me and my friend Devin were trying not to laugh when my friend was giving his emotional speech, crying because we were childish. In conclusion, the 3 most important persuading strategies are ethos, which refers to credibility, and logos refers to logic of an argument, and pathos refers to emotion. There should be a deliberate balance between all 3 of the aspects in order to build a respectable credibility response from the audience. Use of visual aids, images, statically analysis, and videos that can affect the role of persuasion. Thank you for your time. Have a blessed night.